Start your engines, but forget everything you know about standard hauling. Today, we're leaving behind the conventional, the practical, and the mundane. Instead, we're diving headfirst into a world where engineering rules were ignored, conventions shattered, and trucks became rolling hallucinations of steel and imagination. From jet-powered semi-trucks to pickups with no doors, the vehicles on this list are some of the strangest, most innovative, and surprisingly functional designs ever conceived. These aren't concepts that only existed on paper. They were real machines, built to move, to impress, and to challenge our very idea of what a truck could be. We're counting down 10 of the weirdest old-school trucks that actually existed. A journey through decades of engineering audacity, aesthetic rebellion, and mechanical creativity. Buckle up. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure to let me know in the comments which of these monsters you would dare to drive. Let's roll. 1. 1967 Dodge Diora, the pickup with no doors. If you think getting into a truck is as simple as opening a door, the 1967 Dodge Diora is here to challenge everything you know. Widely regarded as one of the coolest concept trucks in history, the Diora has a shocking omission. It has no side doors. To enter the driver's seat, you literally have to climb through the windshield. The entire front windshield acts as a hatch that pivots upward. You climb through, spin, and drop into the bucket seats, a gymnastic maneuver that guarantees all eyes are on you. Underneath this radical exterior lies the chassis of a modest Dodge A100 compact pickup, but the Diora was far from ordinary. Designed by the legendary Alexander brothers, the traditional slant-six engine was moved rearward into the bed, creating a mid-engine layout. This configuration accommodated the futuristic cab-forward design, ensuring the vehicle's front end was as dramatic as its entry method. Weighing approximately 3,000 pounds, it wasn't built for high-speed performance, topping out around 70 miles per hour, typical highway speeds. Even the steering wheel had to swing aside to allow the driver's legs to pass safely during entry. Yet, the Diora was more than a showpiece. It was a fully functional truck, blending science fiction aesthetics with real-world drivability. In 1967, it won the prestigious Riddler Award, cementing its legacy as a rolling piece of automotive art rather than a workhorse. Practical? Not at all. Unforgettable? Absolutely. 2. At 1939, Dodge Airflow Tanker, the streamlined Art Deco beast. Travel back to the late 1930s, a period defined by Art Deco and an obsession with speed and design. The 1939 Dodge Airflow Tanker embodies this philosophy, transforming a heavy-duty fuel truck into a futuristic locomotive on wheels. Commissioned by Texaco, these tankers featured a continuous flowing body that integrated the cab, fenders, and the massive 1,200-gallon fuel tank into a single aerodynamic shell. Technically, it was ahead of its time. Dodge used a bridge truss construction for the tank, allowing the tanker to maintain a lower center of gravity for improved handling, unlike the boxy, top-heavy trucks of the era. Fully loaded, it weighed over 15,000 pounds and was powered by a reliable Dodge inline-six engine. While it looked capable of breaking records, as it cruised steadily at 45 to 50 miles per hour, balancing style and function. The streamlining wasn't just for vanity, it improved fuel efficiency, crucial for fleet operations. Painted in Texaco red, these trucks doubled as mobile advertisements, embodying speed and modernity. The Airflow Tankers era was brief. World War II and changing tastes in the 1940s ended this chapter. Most were eventually scrapped, making any surviving example a giant, elegant relic of a time when industrial design prioritized beauty as much as function. 3. Leland gas turbine truck, the jet-powered semi-imagine, standing beside a semi-truck at a stoplight. Instead of the familiar diesel growl, you hear the high-pitched whine of a jet engine. That's the Leland gas turbine truck, a bold experiment by British manufacturer Leland in the 1960s and 70s. Leland envisioned a future where diesel was obsolete and jet propulsion ruled the highways. The prototypes used regenerative gas turbine engines, producing 350 to 400 horsepower. Fewer moving parts than a piston engine meant less vibration and a smoother ride. Rated for a gross train weight of nearly 40 tons, it could cruise effortlessly at 70 miles per hour and run on a variety of fuels: diesel, kerosene, or jet fuel. The engineering was impressive. Aerodynamically modified cabs to accommodate massive air intake, turbine smoothness for long-haul comfort, and a futuristic silhouette that signaled the arrival of the space age. However, practical issues curtailed production. The exhaust was so hot it could melt asphalt or damage vehicles behind it, and fuel consumption at idle was inefficient. The 1970s oil crisis sealed its fate, leaving the Leland gas turbine truck as a tantalizing what-if in the history of transportation. 4. Citroen U55 Curus Cityama, Parisian glass spaceship. In 1950s Paris, tourists may have seen a vehicle that looked alien, the Citroen U55 Curus Cityama. Built on a Citroen U55 truck chassis, this double-decker sightseeing bus featured a glass-enclosed upper deck and a protruding shark-nose front end. Far from conventional, it resembled a spaceship gliding along the boulevards, offering tourists unobstructed views of landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and Louvre. Weighing nearly 10 tons, the Cityama relied on a standard Citroen drivetrain, struggling on inclines due to its glass-heavy body. Its primary flaw was the greenhouse effect. With no modern air conditioning, the cabin became unbearably hot under direct sun. Despite this, it remains one of the most visually distinct vehicles ever made, representing an era when passenger experience sometimes outweighed practicality. 5. Schnibble Mobile, Luigi Colani's biodesign. Marvel few truck designers embraced organic design like Luigi Colani. The Schnibble Mobile, built on a Mercedes LP 608 chassis, resembled a giant white insect or melted spacecraft. No straight lines, no flat surfaces, just smooth curves and a central bubble cockpit. The vehicle wasn't purely aesthetic. It was commissioned for high-speed tire testing, using its aerodynamically optimized shape to minimize drag, achieving stability and performance beyond conventional trucks. The driver's cockpit, high and central, resembled a fighter jet, emphasizing visibility and control. While often dismissed as too radical for production, the Schnibble Mobile expanded what engineers considered possible in truck design, marrying art and aerodynamics in a single vehicle. 6. Tempo Matador, the goofy front-wheel drive pioneer. The Tempo Matador, a late 1940s German utility truck, is instantly recognizable for its low-positioned headlights, giving it an almost cartoonish expression. Beyond appearances, it was one of the few front-wheel drive trucks of its era, allowing for a flat cargo bed low to the ground, a significant advantage for loading. Early Matadors used Volkswagen 25 horsepower engines to haul 2,000 plus pounds, reaching speeds of about 45 miles per hour downhill. The engine sat just behind the cab, overworked but ingeniously packaged. Despite being underpowered, it became a hero of post-war reconstruction, providing simple, reliable transportation in Germany. Its quirky face and engineering layout have made it a collector favorite today, proving that character can be just as valuable as horsepower. 7. Fasel Twin Coach delivery van, the friendly beetle of logistics. In the 1950s, the Fasel Twin Coach company reimagined urban delivery. Their trucks looked like giant beetles or loaves of bread on wheels, defined by rounded bulbous forms. The integral frame construction combined body and chassis for maximum interior volume in a short wheelbase, ideal for tight city streets. With engines like International Harvester, these trucks provided over 300 cubic feet of cargo space while remaining maneuverable. The design minimized snagging corners on buildings, while the split windshield gave drivers excellent visibility. These trucks embodied optimism, style, and functionality, turning daily deliveries into visually pleasing events. Surviving examples are cherished reminders of a time when even utility trucks had personality. 8. GM Corvair 95 Rampside, the innovative rear-engine pickup. In the 1960s, General Motors applied the Corvair's rear-mounted, air-cooled flat-six engine to a pickup, the Corvair 95 Rampside. With the engine under the bed, the rear floor was raised, complicating cargo loading. GM solved this with a side-mounted folding ramp, allowing wheelbarrows, lawnmowers, or machinery to roll directly into the central bed. Payload was around 1,800 pounds, and the cab-forward design placed the driver ahead of the front wheels. While it produced 80 to 95 horsepower, the unique configuration offered excellent traction, even when empty. Produced only 1961 to 1964, it remains a cult classic, demonstrating GM's willingness to experiment with radically new engineering concepts to solve practical problems. 9. 1937, Studebaker Coupe Express, the gentleman's pickup. The Studebaker Coupe Express of 1937 merged luxury with utility decades before modern luxury pickups existed. Using the chassis, front end, and interior of the Studebaker Dictator sedan, it combined a comfortable, stylish cabin with a steel pickup bed. Powered by a smooth L-head inline-six engine producing about 90 horsepower, it reached 85 miles per hour, far above the average truck of the era. Weighing 3,300 pounds with a double-walled steel bed, it was designed for the gentleman farmer or business owner, allowing work and leisure without compromise. Extremely low production numbers make it one of the rarest, most elegant pickups ever built. 10. DAFF 3300 Space Cab, the Dutch truck that became a home. Finally, the DAFF 3300 Space Cab revolutionized European long-haul trucking in the 1980s. Dutch engineers recognized that drivers needed space, comfort, and mobility. With a high-roof sleeper, the cab became a literal apartment on wheels, allowing drivers to stand, move, and live comfortably. Powered by a turbocharged 11.6-liter diesel engine producing 330 horsepower, it could haul gross combination weights of 40 tons. The square, boxy design maximized interior volume and functional utility, prioritizing driver comfort over aesthetics. Today, every European and American sleeper cab owes a debt to this innovative truck, proving that sometimes the weirdest ideas are the most human-centered. From trucks with no doors to jet engines, glass-covered sightseeing buses, and futuristic bio-designed test vehicles, the history of trucking is anything but mundane. These engineers didn't just build trucks, they pushed boundaries, experimented with ideas, and sometimes created mechanical art. If you could park one of these historic machines in your garage, which would it be? The Diora with its dramatic entry, the elegant Studebaker, or the DAFF 3300 Space Cab that redefined driver comfort? Let me know in the comments. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this journey through weird, wonderful, and historically significant trucks. And subscribe for more deep dives into the world of automotive innovation and luxury vehicles. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next road.